Good morning. I'm Rebecca Ransom, and my pronouns are she, her. Challenged by our liberating faith, we discover deeper spiritual meaning, nurture loving community, cultivate courageous connections, and partner in the work of justice. Welcome to all of you, on the live stream and in person. We're pleased to have guests with us in this room and participating virtually. Following the service, you're invited to join us in Freeman Hall across from the sanctuary for coffee and conversation. Our minister, Reverend Amanda Weatherspoon, is away this month for study leave. If you are new and want to learn more about this congregation, I encourage you to reach out to our Director of Member Relations, Kelly Green. Her email is on the screen. We have large print orders of service, personal hearing assistance devices, and an elevator available. There's also a hearing loop in our alternate worship space, the Bernstein Room. If you or your family feel a need to move or be more active, you may be more comfortable watching and listening to the service in the alternate space in Bernstein. We have coloring pages and fidgets for all ages in the vestibule, if that is useful to you or your children. Nursery care is also available for children under 6. Camp 234's The Spirit of Science continues today at 10 a.m. on Playground 2 with the Science of Insects. Camp 234 is our summer religious education programming for children and meets on Sunday mornings through August 30th. Join us at Ken and Mary Ellen's Place in Lansdowne for the next pop-up potluck on July 18th. Please sign up in Currents. The music and community building teams invite all to join them for a pre-movie potluck and screening of Choral Singing in America on Wednesday evening, July 22nd. There's a potluck sign-up also in Currents. More information about these opportunities can be found in your order of service, in our weekly e-newsletter Currents, or on our website. Again, a warm welcome to each and every one of you. Whether you are here in person or joining via live stream, whether today is your first or your thousandth Sunday in our midst, we are stronger because you are with us. We are one people of many beliefs, origins, identities, and genders. We are all growing, all learning, all loved. It is good to be together.
Everybody look around, because there's a reason to rejoice, you see. Thank you. Welcome to this beautiful summer Sunday at the UUCC. Between summer camps and vacations, overflowing work weeks, and long-awaited sabbaticals, the sweltering, sticky days, and the sweltering, sticky nights, we have each set something down and traveled some distance to arrive in this moment together. However you came, whatever you carried, whatever you left at the door, welcome. I'm Megan Van Fleet, one of your lay service leaders this morning, and my pronouns are she, her. Today, as part of our monthly theme block party, we gather with joy around a gift from the Unitarian Universalist Association, the Braver, Wiser series. For 10 years now, every Wednesday, a magical email arrives like clockwork in your inbox. A short reflection, a brief prayer, written by a small and faithful team of voices, offered to worship leaders, to small group ministry, and to anyone who longs to feel a little braver, a little more compassionate, a little more connected to one another and to the world. This morning, we will share some of their words into our own sanctuary. Our service will draw on readings from this resource, focused on the power of community, and turn toward a reflection on the theme of growing wiser. If something here speaks to you, you are invited to join the Braver Wiser community. Sign up today through the UUA website and let their Wednesday magic find you too. And so we light our chalice this morning. May its light make us braver than we thought we could be and wiser than we knew we were. May it remind us that courage is often a quiet thing, the willingness to show up, to open our hearts, to reach toward one another in the joyous spirit of shared community. And now, in that very spirit of being brave, I invite you to stand as you are willing and able and greet your neighbor before we sing our opening song.
Our first reading is called Courageous Connection by Jo Von Rue, a UU minister from Syracuse, New York. She begins with a quote by Michelle Obama. "You may not always have a comfortable life, and you will not always be able to solve all of the world's problems at once. But don't ever underestimate the importance you can have, because history has shown us that courage can be contagious and hope can take on a life of its own." She goes on to reflect. "Excuse me, young lady," I heard a quiet, familiar voice behind me in a parking lot. Sure enough, I recognized the slight man with his head full of white hair and his plaid shirt. For years, he was a produce manager at a local grocery store. When my shopping coincided with his shift, he'd offer his kind smile and ask if I wanted to hear a poem. I always answered yes, and he'd recite short, sincere poems. It always made my day brighter. He now engaged me with a silly joke, both of us laughing, before rummaging through a box in his car to produce a spiral-bound book. "This is my gift to you, fresh from my publisher." We'd met many times before, I told him, but I hadn't seen him for quite some time, and often wondered about him. I told him what joy he'd brought to my life in each of these short interactions. He smiled and said, "Well, I hope you'll write me a letter and let me know what you think of my life's work." Then we parted, Joseph and I, me gently carrying his life's work in my hands. There are so many ways to hate. There are so many ways to be angry and to seek out differences with the people around us. There are also many ways to connect. There are so many ways to love and to find joy, so many opportunities to regard life from a different perspective. I don't know what political party Joseph is affiliated with. I don't know if he has a religious identity or what neighborhood he lives in. But what I do know is that he, like me, has a deep desire to connect with people, to share his joy, to exist in a world where a mere stranger is delighted to hear his poetry. What a gift it was to see him today, to connect deeply with a stranger, because he felt brave enough to share a piece of his soul with me. I believe that all of us together can and will create a beautiful, courageous, and joy-filled world as long as we continue to hold love at the center of who we are.
The Beauty Spilling Out by Reverend Amanda Poppy begins with a quote from British author K.J. Charles. "You look at people, and it looks like it's real because it's what we see, but there's so much wonder on the inside. as if you had a plain packing crate and it was filled with silks and Persian rugs and things that would spill out and make everything beautiful if only you took the trouble to open it. Reverend Amanda continues, I had no idea what to expect from my first trip to Disney World this summer, but I left with lots of impressions. Discomfort with the total commercialism, awe at the detailed work put into the park, and delight in the way that people visiting Disney World are all in. None of the visitors were too cool or too world-weary to put on a pair of Mickey ears and sing along to It's a Small World After All. And wow, they were all in on the t-shirts too. Seemed every other person had a custom t-shirt declaring who they were. Disney Mom, celebrating Jaden's 6th birthday. He's my Mickey, I'm his Minnie. I felt I could look deep into someone's soul just by reading what they had printed on their t-shirt. Isn't that what we all want? Well, not to have our innermost thoughts always printed on our t-shirts, but to be seen for who we are. I know how painful the opposite experience is. The hardest times in my life have been when I felt misunderstood, when someone has experienced me in a dramatically different way than I experience myself. Sometimes there's important learning for me there. For instance, when I've been unaware of the impact of my words on a person of color, and I've been able to realize the impact is more important than my intention. When that learning has happened, when through a relationship, through a conversation, through the trust of someone else, I was able to make the me on the outside match more closely how I feel on the inside, it's been an opportunity to be even more deeply and truly known. The truth is, we can't be summed up on a t-shirt, even a really cute one with Mickey ears, but it is indeed an impulse of the human self to be known fully by those we love, and that's almost never possible unless we're willing to risk the conversations that help us see past our initial impressions. We're so beautiful inside, so full of complexity and dichotomies and yearning. When we risk telling the world who we are, and when we risk truly learning about each other, we offer a great gift. Spirit of life and love, help us to be known and to know each other. Let us see the beauty spilling out. Keep us vulnerable and open, speaking our own truth and listening, always listening to the truth of others. Please rise in body or spirit to sing our song.
Good morning. I'm Michael Emilien Rodriguez Sierra, and my pronouns are she, her. There's a particular kind of energy and joy that lives in a crowd, a hum, a warmth, a pulse. Maybe you felt it this morning stepping into this space, the way a room breathes differently when it's full of living, loving people. I used to live and breathe that feeling. In the wild and wonderful, shimmering, dangerous, electric years of the 80s and 90s, in New York City, we danced. We really danced. At the Limelight, the Tunnel Studio, the Pyramid Club, we partied and danced, places that felt like cathedrals of another kind, where the music was the liturgy and the dance floor was the altar. In Little Italy at the Feast of San Gennaro, at Spike Lee joint block parties in Bed-Stuy, and we marched in the early Pride parades, in the streets, when claiming the streets meant something different, when it meant we were taking what no one intended to give us, when it meant we are here, we're queer, get used to it. It meant we are alive and we claim our joy. We stayed until the wee hours and then after hours. We wanted more. We believed the party, the passion, pulse, and purpose of the people was everything. And then one day, my people left. Not the party, life. AIDS moved through my world like a slow and merciless demolition, and what it demolished wasn't only lives, it demolished a generation of painters and poets, dancers and designers, musicians and makers. I wholeheartedly believe that the world has truly never been quite as beautiful since. That particular vision and shimmer, that creative electricity and elegance those extraordinary souls carried, it went with them. And we have been living, it is my belief, in a slightly dimmer light ever since. It breaks my heart my daughter didn't get to learn fashion and to be fabulous from my fantastic friends, those dazzling drag queens. In the rubble of that grief we were often not even permitted to name, I buried something, not just the people I lost. I buried something alongside my friends. I buried a part of me with them. The jubilation, the part that danced. I could no longer separate the joy from the sorrow, so I quietly set them both down. There's a film I hold so close to my heart, not perfect, but that completely and utterly captures that moment in time, Longtime Companion. It holds more tenderly, more than anything, than almost anything I know, and how and what AIDS did to my community. It ends with 3 friends on a beach, shining and sun-swept, and for one breathtaking moment, the friends who are gone come back, and they're laughing and dancing, radiant, restored. And one of the characters whispers the wish, maybe someday, maybe when there's a cure. I think about that scene often. We live now in a century where people do live with HIV/AIDS, where the death sentence has lifted for many, where medicine, the cocktail, has done what once seemed impossible. And yet, the friends I lost are still lost. No cure reaches back through time. that block party that I dream of, the one where all those brilliant, beautiful people come dancing back, exists only in that shimmering, sparkling, cinematic moment, only in memory and longing and love. From Zane Campbell's song that closes the film, and we'll go down to the post-mortem bar and catch up on the years that have passed between us, and we'll dance and tell our stories. Do you remember when the world was just like a carnival opening up? I do believe it would take that, seeing them again, to make me dance the way I danced then. And so I've had to learn, slowly, imperfectly, over more years than I'd like to admit, what it means to be braver and wiser. Braver because it takes courage to celebrate when you carry so much loss into every room. As I have continued to lose beloved friends just in this very year, to let joy in anyway, to not let grief have the final word. Wiser because I understand now what I couldn't then, that celebration didn't leave. It's not one single shape. This year at the UUCC, we have lived with the theme under construction, foundation, framework, DIY, interior design, our own, as well as the slow, unglamorous sacred work of building a connected community. And what I've discovered sifting through the rubble of my own renovation is that the foundation I've been quietly laying looks different than I once imagined it would. Partly because of all I just shared, partly just age. I'm not, it turns out, a big block party celebration person anymore. Or perhaps more honestly, celebration looks different for me now. That for me, the party doesn't have to be big and loud to connect. There is a bliss I carry inside rather than always seeking it in a crowd. And that is holy. A few weeks ago, a very dear friend, someone on this very chancel, took me out for my birthday. One of my most memorable ever birthdays. A last-minute decision to a beautiful restaurant in a quiet cove on a lovely lake. A lavish meal, delicious, with deep and delightful conversation. Laughter that needed no DJ to fill the silence behind it. And sitting there, watching the light move on the water, I thought, this is it. This is my party. Block party? Right here. Two people, fully present, seen and known and celebrated. That's what wisdom has taught me, if I have learned anything at all. The most blissful block parties are not always the biggest ones. Sometimes they are the quietest. Sometimes they're a table by the water, a friend who truly sees you, a memorable meal shared in particular grace of being known. And I have found, and I celebrate, that is enough. I am at last enough. My friends who died, all of them, my brilliant, blazing, bejeweled, irreplaceable friends, they didn't leave me with nothing. They left me with the knowledge of how to be present, because I watched them have to learn it faster than anyone should ever have to. They left me with the understanding that now is not a rehearsal, that the light landing on the lake, it's worth stopping for, that the person across the table deserves your whole and undivided heart. I am wiser from what those beautiful boys and men taught me about living life and love. I am braver for having survived. And I celebrate today with you in this beloved community in the way that this particular, irreplaceable, still under construction life of mine and ours in this space, the block is big enough for all of us. Those blooming in the chaos of a colossal crowd, and those seeking the sacred in a sanctuary of stillness. The grieving and the grateful. Welcome to the neighborhood. Welcome to the party. Welcome home. Blessed be.
Generosity is at the center of our mission and vision, and it is through generosity that we live our values out loud. What we give allows us to sustain the work of this congregation within and beyond these four walls. When we gather each week, let it be with this very spirit of generosity and gratitude, recognizing the blessing that it is to carry this work forward together. Our Share the Plate recipient this month is Project 70 Forward, a Charlotte nonprofit committed to the support and advancement of people with disabilities. Their work in our community provides hope, builds resilience, and acts as a voice for change so that those with disabilities can navigate services to achieve self-sufficiency and equity. There are many ways to give to our shared offering. You can text to give at 73256, or you can give directly online. You can also scan the QR code or give as the basket comes your way. With gratitude for all the ways that we give, for those who pledge to make this ongoing work possible, for those who give in the moments when it counts the most, and for those who give from their hearts, we build this community together. While the offering is collected, you are invited to come forward and light a candle honoring a milestone, concern, or celebration. Ushers, you may come forward to receive the offering.
Please join me in a time of contemplation. I invite you to breathe deeply. Be present to the spirit of life which is in us and through us and around us, to those human connections that give us strength when we struggle and celebrate when we are joyful. The gathered community hears and holds both difficulty and ease as we honor the experiences that make each of us who we are. During the month of July, if you are in need of pastoral care, please reach out to Kelly Green. We send our love and care to Cindy Busher as she recovers from a successful heart surgery. We hold with love our members who are experiencing hardship or illness and those who are caring for them. And now, please join me in a moment of silence as we honor all of the concerns shared today and those that remain in our hearts.
I invite you to join me, if you will, on a journey, staying connected with your breath, eyes closed if that feels appropriate, settling into this moment, feeling the support of the seat, your feet meeting the earth. Take one slow breath and let it go. Perhaps over this year we've been, each of us, under construction. A beam reinforced here, an old wall carefully removed there. A window opened where once there was only brick. Some projects finished, some still uncovered with blueprints and hopeful intentions. Just be with those for yourself. And isn't that simply what it means to be human? Today, though the orange cones may have been removed, set aside, the caution tape fluttered away in the breeze. For just this little while, I invite you to step into the street together with your community, seeing faces familiar and new, feeling the energy. Imagine your spirit opening its front door and notice what you bring with you. Perhaps gratitude, perhaps curiosity, perhaps laughter that has been waiting for a chance to be heard. There your neighbors are, beside you, those across the room, those whose stories you know, some you're curious to discover, all stepping outside on a beautiful summer evening. No one arrives completely finished. No one needs to. Here we celebrate not perfection, but presence. Hear the music, feel the beat, smell the food. We're here not for completion, but companionship community. We gather with our patched places, our bright places, our growing edges, our open hearts. And we remember communities are not built by flawless people. They're built by people who keep showing up, bringing a folded chair, a favorite recipe, an extra hand, a listening ear, a song, a smile. We celebrate together in the summer sun. We breathe together and feel the quiet joy of belonging to one another. We celebrate all that's built and what's still becoming. The surprise. And as you breathe in and exhale, imagine opening your heart's front gate just a little wider. To quote Sly, hot fun in the summertime. Take one more deep breath. Welcome to the party. Please rise in body or spirit for our closing song.
Please join me in reading the words on the screen. We extinguish this flame, not the light of truth, warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Please be seated for the closing music.